Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Lee, let's go. I'm a nation. How y'all feeling today? Tap in with your boy. Come on, man. Turn it up in the chat. Come on, let's get these comments. Roll call in the chat. Let's go, man. How y'all feeling today? Roll Tide in the chat. Coach Spring, man. We got some talk. I know we got interviews about to happen here soon. Shout out to every platform that we're live on right now. We're live on Twitter. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Instagram right now. And if you're on either one of those platforms, I need you to help us out by liking the video, reacting to the video some type of way, and sharing it. Letting somebody know. Let another Alabama fan know you got somebody that got the scoop. Gonna keep you informed. Get past all that barbershop talk. Let me see. Where'd you put in Mary J? Name, star rating, height, weight. Yes, sir. What's good, everybody? Jordan, I see you in the chat. Let's go. Jackson Johnson tapping in first. Hey, I got Jackson Johnson. Somebody get my boy a wristband, man. We'll be doing some collabs here soon. Y'all see. Y'all gonna see. Get my boy a wristband. What's up, Deborah? Good to see you in the chat. Jordan, what's good? Megan, good to see you, sis. Megan bringing up, man, listen. I saw the article, and I have some clarity to talk about with some with Greg McElroy's take. After talking with some people that's really close to that circle, I got some clarity to bring to the Bama Nation, and I love how smart he is. Now that I took a breath and I looked at it, he pulled one of my moves, and I'm not even gonna say it's my moves. This is the original move, but this is what you do in this industry. Man, we got a special guest waiting on us in the back, so I'm gonna get through roll call and we're gonna jump right into it, all right? This is special because y'all know how important recruiting is for Alabama. Not just for Alabama, just college football fans in general. Y'all know how he is about our recruiting, so this is huge. We got a special guest checking in, going to give us his thoughts and share with us a little bit of his experience during his recruiting journey and his feels with the Alabama Crimson Tide and how he could possibly fit in a 2027 guy. Y'all will be excited to talk to him in a position where we excited about right now with the level of production we got. So going to get him on. But shout out to everybody. 5 Adam, I see you in the chat, man. Appreciate you for tapping in. Russell, what's good? Davin, I see you. BT, my brother. Hey, BT basically second in charge around this mug right now. We've been going crazy right now with the work. Let's go, man. Salt and Pepper Fire, I see you. Shout out to all 40 of y'all tapping in on each platform. We got 17 on YouTube, 24 on Twitter, 27 on Twitter. We're growing fast on Twitter. Twitter love to pop in. Y'all just continue to like and share on YouTube. And without further ado, let's get this show on the road, man. I got a special guest in the back. Young man, 4-star, class of 2027 DB out of Ohio. I think he's the number 2 ranked player in the state of Ohio and the number 1 cornerback in his class in the state of Ohio. Alabama just recently offered him. He was on campus last week. We're going to talk to him a little bit and see his thoughts, how he feel with the Crimson Tide and how he fits, but also just get to know him a little bit better. We've developed a relationship over the past few months, well, more than a few months now, with football season and everything. We kind of, but it's been a while building this relationship. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring to the stage my youngin' man, the GOAT in the making. I'm telling y'all, when y'all turn the film on, y'all gonna see why I'm excited about this young man. But welcome to the stage, y'all. Ashton, Ace Austin, 4-star DB out of Ohio, man. What's good, Ashton? How you feeling, my guy?
What's good? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Y'all give it up for our guy, man. My guy, hey, look, man. Sure. You trying to act like you wanna like you trying to mature in the face a little bit. You look like you trying to get grown on me a little bit. You look like a little kid last time I talked to you.
Yeah.
How's it going, man? How's it going, man?
It's going good. It's going good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Glad to finally get you on the show, man, and get you here to talk to Bama Nation. They excited about you, of course. With any offer, anytime we get a quality guy, and we are able to get an offer, and they're excited. They announce it on Twitter. Bama Nation goes crazy. You saw the reaction when you announced that you offered. How does that feel? What's that whole feeling like? I wasn't a 4-star, 5-star recruit, so I don't know. Tell me how that feels like to have all that attention, man.
It's great to have all the attention you can get, and when you're all like soaking it in, and 4-star, 5-star, all that. You sit back for a minute, you thank God, and it's great, and it motivates me to keep going.
100%, man. And we talk about your accolades and everything that you got going as far as on the field. Top 10 cornerback in the nation. The speed. He's probably your best shutdown corner in the nation in his class. Some would even say even if you was to reclass to this 26 class, you would still be in that top 5. What type of what mindset do you take into this everyday grind that you have, man?
It's you gotta do it all. Out early in the morning, working out early at night. Late at night, but it's you got to take it all in the fact that like you got to do your recovery too, because
Mm-hmm.
that's also important. So you got to do all the above. You got to work harder than your peers, and you got to think about the next level. You can't think about, oh, how am I going to get ready for high school? I'm thinking about how am I going to get ready for college. So
Right.
you got to work even harder than you already working.
Right. And I can just about I think it's safe to assume or it's safe to say that you have a solid foundation and support group around you that pushes you. Tell us a little bit about your family life, man. Any athletes, parents, athletes, brothers, sisters, anything like that?
Yeah. I got you. So my little brother, he's playing basketball and football. He's doing well. He's doing well in that. He's trying to follow my footsteps. So I gotta lead in the right way and show him the right things to do, and things like that. But I do come from an athletic family. My uncle, LA, he played with the Steelers back in his days, and then my dad, he also played with West Virginia football.
Yeah.
He played with Pac-Man Jones,
Pac-Man, yes.
which I also trained with, and my uncle Chris Henry, rest in peace. Yeah, he also played with him too. So yeah,
Yeah.
that we come from a very athletic background. I'm just trying to keep that legacy going.
Definitely did my research, and that's why I want to highlight family, because we're starting to see that my generation, I'll be 35 in May, glory to God, and
Yes,
I'm
sir.
starting to see now, like, players that I watched as a teenager, their sons and their kids are now becoming the high quality prospects, the targets, highly sought after targets in basketball, football, baseball. It's amazing to see, and to see you developing, man, and to know that type of connection you have with some NFL DBs that really, I mean, Pac-Man was that dude. So that's awesome to hear.
Yes, sir.
Let's get to the what everybody in here wants to hear, man. Your visit with Alabama, man. You seem very excited coming from that visit, and I know you from Ohio, but we know that the Bama brand runs deep. I see you rocking the
Oh
old
yeah.
block logo shirt, man. What was that
Yes,
visit like?
sir.
Just give us, without giving away anything. I'm not asking for a commitment or anything.
Okay.
Just tell us what that was like. I love T-Town. I'm a Bama boy, so give me your feels on it.
Mhm. Yeah, so first they just brought me in with very much love. I got to see the practice, which was very electric. Got to see the DBs run around, and the DBs were very technical. I also got to sit in the meetings and see the Coach Mo coach all the DBs up, and I love the way he coached. And actually, the technique they use out on the field, I'm using right now and trying to get better at every day. So that's definitely a plus for them. And what else? They took me around the facility and the campus and stuff like that. And of course, Alabama comes from a great education background, and
Mm-hmm.
I just love everything about my visit. And what also gives it another plus, it's like I'll probably say like 2 hours away. My granny and my aunties, my grandpa, they all
Coach
live in
Smook, Coach Smook,
Mobile,
Coach Smook,
Alabama. Yes, sir.
Coach
Coach
Smook down the
Smook.
road. Coach Smook, I'm
Yes,
just playing.
sir.
Nah. But nah,
Yes,
man,
sir.
I can just about guarantee it, man, that you really felt at home. I looked at the countenance. I have my people that I talk to inside the program, and you were one that they were very excited about just getting on campus and getting you to get a feel for that environment. We know what type of pedigree you come from. We know what type of competition there is in Cincinnati in that area as far as football. The level of competition is there. What was it like seeing guys like Damani Jackson, who's projected a first round pick, Cam Calhoun, another guy that's getting high draft rankings, a 5-star in Dijon Lee, Ivan Taylor? What was it like seeing those guys that have to like really be out there competing? Was that something that really drove you and was
Yeah.
like, oh man,
Yeah, it was definitely great, and I was just trying to sit back and watch every detail and try to observe and see ways I can make my game better. But I
mm,
definitely learned a lot from them, and I Cam Calhoun, that's my boy. So coming
yeah,
from Wynwoods, coming from Cincinnati,
yeah.
so definitely gonna be getting some work in with him in the summer.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And I've been seeing that trend a lot. And I've spoke on it last year. You see guys at the collegiate level that come from areas where they got up and coming prospects. They're going and working with these guys, and you're seeing a lot of the college game translate into high school because of just the community, the recruiting, football, everything is changing, and you guys are really benefiting from a new era of football. And I'm telling you, man, a 5'11", 170 guy back in my time probably wasn't going to get a look. Just being honest. Back
Yes,
then, you
sir.
had to be big, strong, and had to be stronger than everybody or faster than everybody. Now, with quality,
Right.
talent, eval, and everything across the board, I think we're in a good position with just the overall landscape of college football. So, checking out your film, man, checking out your natural ability, what would you say is like your key quality or like your best quality as a cornerback?
Okay. So I'll probably say my best quality as a cornerback, I'll probably say like my smoothness and my technibility, like the way, I'm very locked in on each play, and watching the hip and making sure I'm staying in the receiver's hip. My technibility is, yeah, that I'll probably say that's the best part of my game. And also my open field tackling. I'm
Yes,
really good at tackling. And I love it.
I was definitely going to say that. I know Mo Linguist is a guy that's very keen and big on being able to tackle in the open field. That's something that like before he can want you
That
to lock a guy down, be on an island. He wants to see if you're going to be physical enough to come up and make tackles because we we know about Kane Womack's system. This 4-2-5 is a DB centered type of system to allow the secondary to thrive. Keep everything in front of you. Use your natural
yeah,
athleticism to drive on the ball. Use your IQ. I see you're a film guy. You stay in the film room. I mean, you have all the qualities, and you're
yes,
just
sir.
going into your junior year. So I'm excited that you're getting targeted by
Right.
Alabama, man. And I can't wait to see what your journey unfolds. We're going to be trying to make arrangements to follow this a little bit closer, especially going into this junior year.
Yes, sir.
Because Coach Smook Network making a
Right.
trip to Cincinnati. We definitely making a trip to Cincinnati.
Oh,
So
yes, sir.
be on the
Yes,
lookout, man.
sir.
Anything else you want to tell Bama Nation about just the status? I like to get recruits feels on if they were at Bama, what would they say to Bama Nation about what they're getting in a player in Ashton, Austin?
So first of all, you're getting a God-fearing player. You're getting a leader out on the field, and you're getting a hard work and a competitive player. I'm gonna go in first day and I'm gonna outwork everybody, and I'm gonna try my best to get out on the field as early as I can. But if I'm not out on the field, I'm learning from the best. I'm learning from the older kids, and I'm trying to get 1% better each day.
100%, man. 100%. And somebody in the chat got a question for you, man. They said, "Wait, is that Sean Austin's son?"
Nah, nah. My dad's name is D. Austin. You
Yeah.
can look him up. DEE. He played with West Virginia back in the day in '01.
Yeah, man. Hey, and Nick Saban Jr., one of my guys,
Yes,
he
sir.
comes from the same area I'm from, man. We've been doing this recruiting thing even before we were in this industry. We just kind of just watch recruiting. So, man, Ashton, Ace, my youngin, man, I'm excited to have you on. I'm glad you took time out of your busy schedule. Y'all, he was out there in Cali yesterday, was it right? Or you still out there about to head back
Yes,
home now,
sir.
right?
Yeah, I'm still in Cali right now. I was at UCLA today. Now today I'm going to be at USC.
Ooh, that boy out there enjoying that California weather. I know you loving it. That weather is something different. It's
Oh
a
yeah,
different
yeah.
type
It's
of air, man. It's a different type of air, but ain't
right,
no
right.
place
Yeah.
like Tuscaloosa. I'm a advocate for my T-town, you know what I'm saying? But Ashton, as always,
Yes,
man, I
sir.
appreciate you, youngin, and you be blessed. We're gonna be tapping in anytime you need me, anything I could do for you, anything that's happening with you. Make sure I know about it because we rooting for you over
Yes,
on
sir.
this side. AAA family, Ashton, Ace,
Got you.
Austin, 4-star DB, class of 2027. Ashton, AAA family, Coach Smook Network. We appreciate you, man. You have a blessed one, my man.
Yes, sir. You too. Appreciate it.
No problem, man. Yes, sir. My God, man. Listen, Coach Smook Network, getting back to it. I told y'all we working on a lineup. Shout out to Ashton, Ace, Austin. I'm telling y'all, man, I'm trying to learn how to not be so excited when I talk to these youngins because I remember when I first reached out to him, he was so low key. Nobody's really talking about it. And I kept thinking, somebody said in the chat earlier, we've been talking about how this staff in particular over the past year, we've seen a lot of Ohio prospects emerge on Alabama's radar as far as targets. And you see New Jersey, you see I think we've even went up as far as Connecticut. Like we're really getting up into those prep programs in the Northeast and starting to really pick out some of the under the radar talent. And Alabama is starting to pick away these guys that Ohio State used to pull, because now Ohio State, they have to go into Texas and bleed into California and to Northwest Washington, all of these different spots now, because we're coming up. Everybody's moving up to the Northeast and starting to find those little gems that they used to be able to just keep to themselves. So I love finding a guy like Ace, man. And the youngin is a dog, man. He's a dog. He doesn't have that lightning speed that's going to like wow you. In-game speed closes. Like he looks like a 4-3 guy closing on the ball, making plays on making breaks on underneath routes. His physicality on the sideline. I don't know if y'all saw the clip, but he literally jammed a guy and took him to the bench. One hand just jammed him and kind of guided him to the bench through the players on the sideline and just kind of just set him down lightly. I'm over exaggerating, but that's basically what he did. The young man is a developmental talent that's going to continue to be good. He's going to continue to be good. He's going to continue to get better. And it's one of those things, man, you just continue to see the quality of talent evaluation with this coaching staff. You got a lot of experienced coordinators, former head coaches, assistant coaches on this staff as position coaches. And with that type of experience, you can see certain things that a young position coach or a young grad assistant that probably won't be able to see or develop. So that's a positive that we have here at the University of Alabama. Shout out to these guys, man. I appreciate every recruit that takes time out of their schedule. Like, that's crazy. Like, I was expecting to get him at the end of his day. We was going to pre-record it and then do an edit version, but he said he wanted to come on. I appreciate that. I really appreciate it. Y'all remember when my first one ever was Noah Carter, man. And speaking of Noah Carter, we got some stuff to talk about today with the linebacker room. It's a lot of topics to dive into today. And hopefully y'all ready to get into it. So without further ado, here on the Coach Smook Network, y'all know how we do, man. We got the Smook Scoop coming up. Alabama pros practice reports. Trying to see if we got any interviews coming in, but I'm gonna give what I got, and then as interview links come in, I need 2 mods, if possible, to post today's post scrimmage interviews from either Bama Online, Alabama Athletics, or Bama Central. Those are the 3 that I kind of like love. We kind of network with them. So if y'all can find their interview clips, that'd be awesome. And post them in the Discord moderator chat for Mary J, so we can get them. I love what we have been doing in the secondary, 100%. And then Corey P says, let's get it. Oh, Corey P, my boy say he ready. Let go.
You talking about Jalen Milroe and the Pips?
The perfect weak side linebacker, right? Put him next to the mic.
Not going to take us a lot of time, but I want to say that I'm excited about what.
Okay, forgive me, my brother. What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just still sorry for all the other content creators now that we have this mega star back in our presence.
Yeah, let's get to it, man. I don't know what's going on with my computer, but we're gonna get it fixed. It's all good, chat. Listen, today we got some evaluation stuff to talk about. I really think today can be an educational thing before we turn into a debate. And first, I want to talk about Greg McElroy's statement about the Alabama quarterback room. All right, there's a link that was provided to us, and I want to read it verbatim. I like to read it verbatim. And those moderators, get that link for Mary J in the chat for me, please, in that moderator chat on Discord. I'm gonna pull this article up here, or this tweet. All right, here we go. I'm gonna share this tab, and then we're gonna bring it up right here. All right, let's talk about this. Let me know if y'all can hear.
I think this group and the staff is a little less likely to show their hand because there's only 3 quarterbacks on scholarship. I think in the event in which you accelerate this competition too far down the line, you run the risk of losing one. And now you have 2 quarterbacks under scholarship, and you have to go to the portal and find someone. You're probably not going to want anyone in May. It's just, I think that they're having to be very diligent with how they're spreading reps, how they're creating competition amongst all 3 guys, keeping all 3 involved. But I am still of the belief that it's Ty Simpson is the guy to beat. Now, will he beat him? Will other guys elevate and beat him? Perhaps. Ty Simpson, I think if you were to ask me 2 years ago, I would have said he was the guy to beat because that was coming from the staff. Like this guy, as a redshirt freshman, the staff all believed that his skill set would have potentially put them in position to, if he played his best, to go and be at their best offensively. He didn't play his best. Didn't have a great spring. Summer was okay. Fall was okay, and then it got good late. But at that point, Jalen Milroe had already taken control of the quarterback competition.
And then you fast forward and you continue, the cycle repeats itself. Okay, let's not do that. Let's talk about today. Let's talk about what's happening now. I saw a question in the chat. Is Ty the starter today? Everybody's trying to misconstrue Greg McElroy's take as if he's saying that Ty Simpson is going to be the starter. He's saying right now Ty is the guy to beat, as it should be. When you have a situation where you literally have limited experience and reps from both quarterbacks, Austin Mack got in last. If it was based off of limited experience and how they looked at limited experience, Austin Mack would be the guy. Austin Mack has a beautiful touchdown pass to Rico Scott last year. I mean, literally the perfect pass, and went through progressions to make the pass. You see when he played reps in game, garbage reps, clean. Even in the scrimmage last year, struggled with no offensive line, literally no offensive line. You had a walk-on tight end playing left guard for Austin Mack, and still played a strong scrimmage. No interceptions. Didn't get to throw a lot of passes because he had somebody in his lap. Took a lot of sacks, or quote-unquote sacks, but you see his ability to get out, create plays. And so I started to make my statements, but then I started getting my phones. Y'all know when the phone go off, right? Let me go back to my tweet. Let me see. Where we at? Here we go. Let's go back to this tweet right here. I ain't even put it in this tweet. But so y'all know how we do every freaking practice. 30 minutes before practice ends, I'm probably getting some messages or something saying like, this is what's happening without saying it. You know, I really like the relationship that I've built around Alabama football without coming out and having to say certain things. This is a networking team that understands, okay, we love this team enough to keep everyone informed, but we're not going to give away. We're not going to show our hand. Just like what Greg McElroy is saying. But I think there's something to be said, regardless of what the persona is around college football, transfer portal and everything. I think there's something to be said about a staff that came in and had an open competition where it was clear who everybody was behind last year. Jalen Milroe. It was clear who the locker room was behind last year. Jalen Milroe. It was clear who was the better quarterback in the room last year during the spring scrimmages. Jalen Milroe. Ty had too many bad days in the spring for him to unseat Jalen Milroe this past spring. Got better from the previous year, but definitely had too many days. I say it like this, chat. If I have a red shirt sophomore, a true freshman in the competition with a fourth year junior, that is not a problem in hindsight, but that's a problem. There's no way you lean towards the guy that you've seen for 4 years, and for some reason he hasn't been able to be the guy for one set of eyes. He hasn't been able to be the guy for another set of eyes. And you saw the product that got put out there. Not once could we change, hand the keys over. Not once did we feel confident enough to hand the keys over. And I don't think they were scared about losing the locker room after the loss to Vanderbilt last year. I don't think a switch would have lost the locker room last year. It probably would have made Jalen Milroe mad, and this Milroe supporters like myself, it probably would have had us looking funny for a second. But I've always been a proponent of playing the best player in the room, playing the best players on the field. And when it comes to that part of the debate of the quarterback room, there is no denying, and we cannot definitively say that Ty Simpson is the best quarterback in the room, because I could look at some things that Austin Mack does and I could say, well, he's better. He does something for me and how we run the offense. I think Austin Mack does this better. So does that make him the guy for the job? But then I could look at Keelan Russell and say he does this better. Does that make no? That's what I'm saying. We have to really just look at this from a realistic standpoint. If I have a fourth year guy really struggling, and the truth is that the job is his to lose. When a coach gets fired, the interim head coach is usually your assistant coach, right? The guy that's labeled the assistant coach, whether it's offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, is usually the guy that worked directly next to the head coach. So with Ty Simpson being QB2 last year, he worked directly next to Jalen Milroe. So while we're in the interim stage of finding a QB1, your assistant QB2, Ty Simpson, is going to be the guy that's supposedly needs to be, whether he's going to assume the full-time role or he's just a veteran placement holder who's trained enough and been in the training, same arena of training as your starting QB. So for everybody that thinks that Ty has the job, I don't want you to be disappointed. That's why I continue to preach the real narrative around the quarterback competition. There's no way we have a 15 practice spring and I'm at practice 11, 12, and I'm still splitting reps evenly amongst 3 quarterbacks. First group, second group, third group reps, it don't matter. Come on in. And there's nobody like there. Let's talk about production from the quarterback room. We're gonna wrap this up 2 minutes on this quarterback competition. Production wise, everybody's producing. I'm gonna read off the numbers I got. And these could be wrong. These could be wrong, chat. but they haven't been wrong to this point. And I'm pretty sure everything we've been putting out from the network has been accurate. All right. 67%, 74%, 71% in that order. I don't know what day that came from or which day, but these were completion percentage numbers, right? 67%, 74%, and 71%. Looking at it from hindsight, all great numbers. You talk about the amount of passes that were probably thrown in that scrimmage last week or whenever. I'm talking about the amount of passes that could be possibly thrown during 11s when you're running a 40 play scrimmage or 40 play team, 60 play team segment, 70, whatever, how many plays you're running during your team's block in practice, right? Looking at it. And then also from this same thread, this is something that was said, something that I heard vocally from people that are literally there every day. I love it. No one is going to say it, but the coaching staff is under no pressure by boosters to play 15. Dude is good, but he is not better than everybody in the room. 10 has yet to slip up, and he is the most ready. Simpson is the veteran placeholder, no doubt, but that's not a safe place in today's college football game. I'm just saying, and these aren't even Alabama fans. These are people that cover the game of football on all levels. And when things like this are being said, and you see these people on TV talking to our coaching staff daily, right, or weekly on big segments and things of this nature. When those things are being thrown out there, it leads me to believe that this is a smart staff. They're playing it by the book, and they really have a decision to make. I don't think they will be wasting reps on guys that aren't continuing to meet the standard of what they believe could be the starting quarterback for this room. Run into the comments real quick before we transition to my notes from the day. I didn't do the phone emojis on the status today, but we're going to see. 5 Adam says, I prayed for Miro to be successful last year and future years in the NFL, but I never been more frustrated with Miro. I pray KD recruits QBs like Keelan Russell 100%. And we got to understand too, man, Miro was not a prototypical Kalen Deboer recruit, right? But I think if Miro develops through a system like what Kalen Deboer offers with the assets of Coach Mitch, right? Quarterback coach, and then Nick Sheridan, Ryan Grubb, Jamarcus Shepard. If you're able to have that at your disposal for 2 years, 3 years, shoot, hell, some variation of it for 6 years, like Michael Penix, 5 years. How many years Penix played college ball? And we always try to compare these quarterbacks to Penix. I don't think y'all realize Penix should have been a sophomore guy a year. He was playing as a senior at Washington, the year that they played for the national championship. He should have been going into his second year in the NFL, traditionally, before 5th year COVID stuff. And then do you think Ty Austin will win the QB job and have a big year and enter the NFL? I think if Ty wins the job and can perform at his best, like McElroy said, I like that he said that. Ty doesn't give you best version of Ty. For everybody that wants Ty to win, they know that we haven't seen the best version of him yet, right? They're hopeful. Like a lot of us were from Milroe last year. All the Milroe supporters, we knew we hadn't seen a complete version of him. So I think Ty, all he needs is, I've said this, Ty only needs 1 year. I think Ty last year as a red shirt sophomore, if he was the starter, he plays good enough to put himself in top 10 type of draft, right? Especially this year with the quarterbacks. If he won the job last year, Ty is positioned to be a first round QB. If he wins it this year, he's going to position himself, especially with this system, but he has to win it. And I'm just not convinced that he's the best quarterback in the room, because I believe Austin Mack would be, 1 year. All he needs is Austin Mack needs another year. He won't be eligible this year. Wait, no, he would be a red shirt sophomore. He will be eligible for the draft after this season. And then I think either one has a great year. If it's Mac, he knows what's happening behind him, and he has to lose the job, especially if it's a season. If it's a underwhelming season, 9-3 again, regular season, 8-4, 7-5, anything less than 10 wins is Keelan Russell's job, and the quarterbacks in front of him know it. You have to go SEC, right? Play for it, playoff berth, and be the factor, be the reason why. You have to be the quarterback, and that be the reason why the offense goes, because you are the quarterback. You're the guy, not because you got everything else working around you and making it easy for you, but you're making it happen. And I think all three quarterbacks are doing that at a high clip right now. I got bit by something on my elbow, chat. We got another comment. Kevin Facts, don't name a start until they trot out on the field against FSU. I'm against it. I think you see where your real guys at. If they're gonna quit now because of what the depth chart says, what type of player are we breeding now? What type of player are we breeding anyways? You have players like Edric Hill that got looked over last year. I mean, we heard about Edric Hill during spring last year. Jeremiah Beeman, guys that are getting constantly getting looked over the last 2 years, clearly talented enough to be on the field. We got looked over. Got a guy like QB Reese getting looked over. Got a guy like Bray Hubbard that wasn't really getting the reps, wasn't going to get the type of reps. Kind of got looked over. Stuck it out through the transition, stayed, earned it, and it benefited him because he has a different type of hunger when he's on the field. So that's the mentality I want to breed. There are more people that want to play for Alabama in the quarterback room, in the running back room, in the wide receiver room. There are more that want to play for Alabama. Right now, we got guys that are reluctant there. You know, some are reluctant. They know that they can hit the portal and go somewhere else. When you have that option already in your mind, you don't need to be at Bama. In my opinion, this is my opinion. I'm not talking about nothing that I know or that I've heard said. This is just my opinion right now, chat. I feel like the direct, honest approach, you got to gamble. I mean, this staff has been straightforward this whole time. Why deter from it? And that's what makes me believe they're not doing it for those purposes. This is a legit three-man race, and we don't have a decisive number one yet. And I believe Austin Mack is in it because of that continuity that he came over with when he transferred from Washington, when he early enrolled with this staff. Salt and pepper, go back to salt and pepper fire. And I don't even want to talk about it, salt and pepper. You want me to tell you why? Because when I went and I commented on it, I said, this is giving key feels, my comment got removed. And it's funny because I'm glad you said that. Salt Pepper, can you send me the link to that interview so I don't have to search it? Send it to my Instagram DM, and I'm gonna pull it up. I think that's an interesting thought process, since people want to hear from the coaches. And I had somebody on the chat, somebody in the comments, Twitter or something this morning, I guess. Basically, like, I want everybody but Ty Simpson. But last year, or 2 years ago, when I called for Ty Simpson, everybody was calling me crazy. Last year, when I said he could be the guy, come on, man. Five Adam, you almost there. You're almost there. So from my insight, from people that I've been talking to, if we had to talk about just the overall and overall performance of the wide receiver room, I love to talk about the wide receivers because I feel like this is the most underrated, or not underrated. This is the most uncovered potential group. I think they were very limited and handcuffed last year. We know what Jalen Milroe did early on. Teased us, thought this was going to be an elite passing attack. We didn't utilize it till its full effectiveness. That's no secret. Jalen Milroe's going with transition. We feel like we got three capable quarterbacks. I look at this room, chat, and I say this wide receiver room, from top to bottom, I'm almost tempted to say even the walk-ons with Loper and those guys. But no, from top to bottom, scholarship wide receivers, this might be the most complete top to bottom talented room that we've seen at Alabama. And I'm going to say that even ahead of, I'm going to say it, even that the room, the whole room in itself, not just having 3 or 4 guys, but the whole room in a value, from a value standpoint, is the best that it's. I froze a little bit. The whole room as a whole is its best that it's ever been in my lifetime, from top to bottom. And I'm gonna just pull up the graphic, so just so we could talk about it, and then I'm gonna also pull up who would you all say was the best receiving room during your time at Alabama? What year? Let's say Alabama 2017 roster. That's the one everybody goes to, right? Everybody loves to talk about the 2017 roster, or 2018 roster, I believe, is the right roster. Because 2017 had the most talented room on paper. Because you still had Calvin Ridley, you still have Robert Foster there, right? That to me, that's probably the most talented room on paper. Let me do it by position. Let's talk about it. Quick little segue debate here, and then we're gonna talk about the wide receiver performances today. And I do it like this because with the family, I mean with the AAA members, y'all know how we do when we got like the break and stuff. We go to members only and we get straight to it. But this is the show. We get the clip, hour and a half. This is how we drag along and let people know that we're very informative and detailed with how we do our thing over here. But trying to get to the wide receiver room. Come on, thoughts in the chat. 2018 with Judy, Smitty, Ruggs, and Waddle, but that's only 4. Who else is in that room? We're gonna go look at it. I'm gonna go look at the I'm looking at the 2017 room right now though, because I think from top to bottom, I think this is the room, and we about to do it. We about to just start. As soon as we see wide receiver, we're going to just start naming off names, and then we're going to just do a vague comparison to the next year roster, and then compare it to what's on this roster. A lot of unknown. So this is what I'm saying right here, Davin. From top to bottom, you have Robert Foster, Calvin Ridley, Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs, Shadarius Townsend, Terrell Shavers. Y'all remember Shavers, big body. Cam Sims. Y'all remember Cam Sims? He was a senior that year. Xavier Marks, Speedy Marks, was supposed to be the first Waddle. And those were your scholarship guys. We didn't have nobody else that was scholarship. Derek Keefe wasn't really an impact to me. Wasn't an impact guy, just a seasoned guy, veteran guy. Injuries was his problem. But that's a talented room. Y'all see, that's what I'm saying. We didn't see a lot of these guys because of Jalen Hurts. True freshman starter this year. Y'all remember? So now we look at, let's go to 2018. The class that everybody wants, I mean, the group that everybody loves to say was the best, right? Statistically, they were. And they had a quarterback that was able to showcase that, right? Let's go down here. Let's go back down here. Down to the wide receivers. All right. From top to bottom, we're going to do it again. From top to bottom. So you had, and see, this is what I'm saying. After that year with Robert Foster and Ridley and them, these young guys, the sophomores, were the guys. So I don't think we were that deep in talent. Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Xavier Williams. Y'all remember Zay? Number 3, I think, no. And he ended up wearing number 3 before he transferred. Henry Ruggs, Chad Townsend. I think, man, I just wish he would have just stayed for that 5th year, man, that 4th year. I think he would have been the guy. Terrell Shavers, Jalen Waddle, Slade Bolden, Xavier Marks. Talking about scholarship guys. Again, Keith was a guy that just kept hanging around and never really got over the injury bug. Robert Foster was supposed to be a dog, but Hurts messed that up. You know what? Robert Foster ended up having a good turnaround because of guys like Hurts. The way he was able to produce with his limited catches and limited opportunities with Jalen Hurts is what ultimately got him in the league. And y'all remember he had like a 2-season run where he was like, I think he had a free agent. He was the 6th highest paid receiver. Y'all remember he was playing for the Bills. I believe he was with the Bills. So Robert Foster was that dude. And I think Robert Foster, we're going to get I think the Robert Foster on this roster this year is probably going to be the likes of somebody that just doesn't get in it, but they're going to be a part of it. I don't want to do this to him, but I think it's going to happen like this. I think it's going to be Jalen Hale, but at a higher clip, because same type of speed, same type of ability to stretch the field, same type of ability to go up and get the ball. But with so many other assets in front of him, like Robert Foster had, or so many other obstacles in front of him. In this case, you got so many other guys in front of you. Isaiah Horton, Jeremy Bernard, Ryan Williams, Sierra Brooks, and then Jalen Hale, in my opinion. Not because of skill set, just the pecking order right now. Jalen Hale will benefit from having a Robert Foster-like feel around him. Not being key, not being able to be bracketed. Like, I like Jalen Hale in one-on-ones. I like everybody that doesn't get bracketed in one-on-ones, and that's what's going to be hard to guard Alabama's wide receiver rotation. But we kind of dive into it. We look at Alabama's wide receiver rotation. Let me get over here on the other screen. Get over here to the X. The X wide receiver position. This is the spot that everybody's excited about. And there's a good reason to be excited about it. Let me pull this up. I'm going to share this. Or you're starting 3 wide receivers. I'm going to get into that. Leave that question up. I'm going to get through this real quick, Mary J. Leave that question up right there. I like that. So at the X position, we had some reports about how there's so much good things going on at the X position, right? I look at it. And we've seen guys kind of fluctuate in different personnel groupings, but I think this is our base depth chart for the 3-man rotation at the X position. And you look at it, I have Horton and Hale there. Horton is a redshirt junior, a 4th-year guy. You got a 3rd-year guy in Jalen Hale, who is 100% healthy right now, off of the injuries. I haven't heard any injury reports from today's practice, so thank God. Jalen Hale may be the first wide receiver out there at the X position one game. That doesn't necessarily mean to start. It might be a keyed mismatch that we want to try to expose or test or tempt with a smaller 6'1" frame. Still 6'1" height, but still got the frame at 190. You look at our wide receiver room at the X position, these are some body receivers. Some body receivers that can get up and down the field. They can get up off the ground. Isaiah Horton, Jalen Hale, that rotation at the X position is going to be lethal. Create mismatches when you have to bracket speedy, quick cut route running technician guys like Ryan Williams, Jeremy Bernard, Sierra Brooks, Bubba Hampton, Jalen Mbakwe. Who else is in that room that I'm forgetting? You get what I'm saying? So the X position is going to be key. Going to be able to create a lot of mismatches because of personnel over there. Let's talk about the other wide receiver positions. If I had to pick my starting 3 right now, you see my starting 3. I got Ryan Williams at the Z. I got slot Jeremy Bernard, and I got at X Isaiah Horton. And I put Ryan Williams and Jeremy Bernard at Z and slot because you will see a lot of motion from the Z where he'll motion from here, and I'll do this just so we don't lose. They'll motion from here and come inside, with the slot being on the line, he can motion and come inside. So you got this type of a switch type of concept, a switch release concept off the line of scrimmage, and you got to try to cover a Ryan Williams, Jeremy Bernard duo, or a Ryan Williams, Sierra Brooks duo, or Rico Scott, Jeremy Bernard duo, or Rico Scott, Ryan Williams duo. or Jalen Mbakwe, Ryan Williams duo, or Latsier Brooks, Jalen Mbakwe duo. Like, that's what I mean about the wide receiver rotation. You got that part of the field, that side, that part of the formation, when those two positions are grouped together, we should see so much production, because it could be short game, it could be stretch the field, it could be vertical, it could be like quick game, like whatever you want. We can see that. So my starting three, Jeremy Bernard, start at the X, we got Isaiah Horton, Jeremy Bernard at the slot, and Ryan Williams at the Z. That's my starting three. Brock, who is y'all starting three? Let me see. Do we got some? Ryan? Salt and Pepper says Ryan, Jeremy, Horton Hill, Rico Lassier. See, it's hard to pick, right? Cole Adams is nasty too. That's what I'm saying. He's another guy that's going to benefit from having so much talent in front of him. Cole Adams will be able to benefit from having to play behind a Rico Scott and a Ryan Williams, because we know he's going to get on the field. Punt return, kick return, he's going to be that guy. But then what happens when we go 5 wide set? And Latsier may not be ready for this play call. Natural ability, he may not be. You put a guy like Cole Adams in, you lose half a step on stretching the field, but you don't lose the IQ, you don't lose the hands, you don't lose the ability to separate. We get in a jet sweep type play call, and we doing it out of our base formation. We just removing Bernard and putting Bach there, right? Doing the slot jet sweep. And then all of a sudden, instead of putting Bach at the slot, we put him at the Z and put Brooks at the slot. And we put him in jet motion, fake it to him, get Bach on the one-on-one, freaking on the screen with the tight end going out to kick block the one-on-one out there, right? Because you got to pay attention to speedy logic. It's so much misdirection and stuff can happen because of just personnel, speed. The right receiver rotation will be a key to the effectiveness of Alabama's offense. Today, the wide receiver room and the DBs went back and forth. As always, they said that has been the war zone. The trenches has been nice to watch. But the Alabama wide receiver DB battle has been the highlight of practice. Plays being made on both sides. I mean, not a lot of interceptions being thrown. And y'all gonna be mad at me when I tell y'all this truth, but the interceptions came from the most veteran guy, and that's normal. And the only reason I say that's normal is because your veteran guy is playing against the defenses or throwing against the defense's most veteran guy. Ty Simpson is out there doing consistently getting better against possibly, and I'm gonna say this, I believe Xavier Brown is a future first round draft pick. I think Deshaun Jones is a late first round, early second round draft pick. But then you got guys in front of those two guys, in Damani Jackson and Cam Calhoun, who I believe are solid, legit first round picks. Nick Saban Jr. says, and it could be so dangerous, what the staff could do with the wide receiver group. When you look back at Washington, I think most of every receiver on that room had a reception. Every receiver that played, that touched the field, I talked about this in a clip. Every receiver that touched the field at Washington, and Kalen DeBoer's last year, under Ryan Grubb's style of offense, that play calling, every receiver that touched the field had a reception. And we ain't just talking about garbage time. You remember Washington at one point when Pope was injured, they played 9 receivers in that game. So let's say Jeremy Bernard or Ryan Williams has a high ankle sprain. You don't think they're going to go and try to get 3 reps for Rico, 3 reps for Bach, 7 reps for Cole? Like that type of feel, especially in the first half, to see who's going to carry the load and then play off that. It happens. It's going to continue to happen like that. If the line holds up and the QB can just get the ball to the playmakers, the offense could be stupid dangerous. And you know what? At the end of the day, that's what it's about. Let's go back to this. I love how y'all keep jumping into my segues. I love it. Talk about the offensive line. A lot of conversation about the offensive line has been we've seen what's going on? Oh, I just did switch it out. All right, so a lot of conversation was still surrounding the offensive line rotation, with a few more guys being held from today's scrimmage. So reportedly there are guys that's being held from the live action, these last few live action scrimmages that we're having, especially on the offensive line. Jaden Roberts is a guy that's been kind of limited, but we see that he's going to continue. Like, it's hard to keep him off field. You're not going to take him off field. Who else? A lot of second group action with Parker Brelsford today. Rock Montgomery, Arkel Angwam, Gino Vandermark, those guys in that interior, well, not in the interior, but on that offensive line. Just trying to get some continuity there. So many assets available. Now, this is something that was being reported last week and this week also. Wilkin Formby has basically, I guess you can say he's solidified himself as far as the leader in the right tackle room, right? I mean, for that right tackle position. But what he has done is allowed them to test more guys out at left tackle, right? Because he needs to continue to get the developmental reps with the development he had last year. And we saw a piece of his interview the other day. He needs those developmental reps where he's seeing different bodies and different skill sets. And being on that right side, talking about base formation setup, one of the first guys he's going against every day is Quay Russaw. And then you follow up with a Yanzi Pierre. Then you follow up with possibly a Justin Hill, the true freshman that's been dominating. Y'all see my tweet. Number 8 is the number for this year. Both number 8s acting up. But then you might see a LT Overton or Ja Latham. Like, he's getting all these different body sets to work against this year. That I think because of the experience last year, he's showing that improvement, and that's allowing the guys behind him to develop. So now we can focus on, hey, if we got an experienced tackle that has played some right tackle, but not as much left tackle, let's go and test him and develop him over there. And you have that right now with Will Sanders and Arquel Angwam, right? And Taylor Bowen transferring to Alabama, the guy from Florida State, the center, right? If I'm not mistaken, the center from Florida State just transferred to Alabama. Basketball. Shout out to Alabama, hitting the portal. 8 Oats, going to get some another quality roster. No excuses again. Nothing less than the Elite 8 already with this roster that we currently have already. But back at it. Wilkin Formby doing great. And the thing is, a lot of people, I see the comment by Brock says Wilkin Formby looks bigger and stronger and has matured a lot. My maturity was never a question about Wilkin. It was more so about developing that body, and he don't have that baby fat no more. He looked like a grown man. He's a 4, big pickup. I see that. I can see him playing the 4. I can see that. He's a stretch 4. Is he a stretch 4, or is he like more so the traditional 4? Because I've seen a few games with Florida State, limited this past year with Florida State. But looking at it, man, offensive line, Arquel Angwam and Will Sanders really creating some quality competition. And I want to ask the chat again. I want to ask Bama Nation for some feedback. What's your thoughts on these guys creating such quality depth at the left tackle position? Do you feel that we could possibly go away from having to have Caden Proctor there and moving him to a position I believe he's more naturally fit for, being the guard position? That's just my personal thoughts on it. I truly think that Caden Proctor is more fit to be a guard at the collegiate level. Hey, shout out to everybody on Instagram. I be forgetting to come in and tap in with Instagram. I'm so sorry, Instagram. I be forgetting to tap in because, Instagram isn't a platform for this type of content for real. So I'm sorry for not paying attention. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. I see y'all clearly been showing love over there. We got reactions on the stream and everything. I'm horrible, man. I'm horrible. Sorry, Instagram. I'm not used to having Instagram up. So appreciate y'all for tapping in over there. Here we go. So what we got going? I was supposed to be bringing that link up. Salt and pepper. Brought the link up. And we're going to play it at the end. at the end, so we can kind of shut the noise down with the quarterback situation. All right. Now, Arkel Agwan, Will Sanders, but some other names to be on the lookout for. Joseph Ioannota. I really hope we can keep him. I don't see him going in the portal. Casey Poe. What's the other young man's name on the interior chat? Mal Waldrop. I'm sorry. The frames, man, I'm telling y'all, there's a lot of similarities out there. Mal Waldrop, freshman group, Michael Carroll, Jackson Lloyd. Haven't been hearing much about Michael Carroll since the first week because I think he's just been that good that he's starting to just kind of blend with some of your veteran guys. But to hear Jackson Lloyd and Mal Waldrop doing what I felt was their high points or their value points of evaluation, which is being technically sound, and the body development for Mal Waldrop is huge with him being able to play at this level. A 6'5" frame and finally be able to get some weight on him with this nutrition program at Alabama. I meant to ask Ace, did he get to go to the dining facilities? That's all I'd be caring about for real. Did you like the food? Because if you like the food, you might be stuck. But that's your O-line room. Not much coming from that room today from practice either. Not, the D-line and O-line having quality battles up front. I think it's a lot of back and forth right now because we're starting to see a lot more young guys get put out there to get evaluated in these scrimmage-like settings. The young guys are getting pushed out there. So you're going to hear a lot about Steve Bowler. You're going to hear a lot about Isaiah Fega coming up. Jordan Renard is going to continue to make flashes. I honestly think Jordan Renard might solidify himself as the starter at the D tackle position. As a starter, I think he might be able to do it. And this is unbiased. This is like with reports of Edric Hill showing those flashes at the same position. You got James Smith, who is basically, the D tackle / nose tackle build. Tim Keenan's coming back for a 5th year. You don't want Tim Keenan playing 60, 70 snaps a game. He doesn't need 60, 70 snaps a game. Do we have a 1A, 1B situation going? Because you got Jordan Renard, Edric Hill, and Jeremiah Beeman not only anatomically fit in the mold, but literally schematically fit in the mold of the new defensive tackle that you want at that position. All these guys are 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", all find their weight range in the 285 plus range. All have lateral quickness that somebody like James Smith, even though it has some, doesn't possess for the tackle position. You're talking about a position that plays the 3 and the 5 technique in this scheme, right? Anywhere between the two and the 5-eye technique you're going to see with this scheme. So that tackle room starting to look very interesting. I wouldn't mind seeing James Smith and Tim Keenan bump over and rotate at nose guard and give Steve Bowler and the side Fagers straight like bull rush reps when they get in, right? I wouldn't mind seeing Edric Hill, Jordan Renard, Jeremiah Beeman, and let's be for real with the way that we put out our rushing packages. You can throw Ja Latham, somebody who's played some interior, hand in the ground D-line type reps. You could put somebody like that for a rushing package at defensive tackle and put your defensive tackles, James Smith, Edric Hill, Jeremiah Beeman, put them at the nose tackle position. Put them over the center. And stretch your D tackle and your true end, your bandit, out to your true end spots. Get them in that wide 9 and let your linebackers and secondary guys shoot gaps on run blitzes or run fills, right? Create havoc up front with 3 bodies. We're going to be able to do that with Alabama in this defensive line rotation. But to talk about the young guys in that room, Steve Bowler, Edric Hill, Jeremiah Beeman, all of them just making plays. 11 is the number on defense. I know Jahad Campbell wore 11 last year. For Jordan Renard to pick up 11 at the D-line, you got to expect, like, the numbers, the swag got to match. I think he's going to match. He was flashing 25 is big, man. I did not know Steve Bowler was that big, chat. I did not know he was that big. He got to be pushing like 315. I know the roster say like 295, but he got to be pushing like 315. And it's hard to move him. If our O-line is struggling in spring, and I haven't got reports that they're struggling. There's a lot of balance, a lot of good competition back and forth. The trenches aren't as controlled as your perimeter, so that's good. That means they're letting guys go at it, and we haven't had any major injuries from the trenches, so that's good. But I look at the assets available in the front, and then you add athletic guys in that linebacker room, which leads us to our next conversation, man. I'm gonna get this off the screen because I ain't got nothing else to say about that up there. Our next conversation, talking about the offensive line. I mean the D line. We were talking about the D line. Let's talk about the linebacker room. We talked about another guy that's possibly getting a green dot, and that was AJ Sanders. You know, I told y'all last year he had a great scrimmage. Him and QB Reeves playing side by side. Looks like old school Bama linebacker, inside linebacker play, right? But you look at a guy like Abdul Sanders, and you're talking about green dot tendencies, being able to decipher. You've only been on campus for 2 months, son. How are you helping the guys in front of you make calls, right? And this ain't what he's telling me. This is what players on the team that I'm on Instagram. Man, how everything going? Man, AJ, man, I'm over here and this and that and boom, boom, boom. Like that's the type of energy 3-5 is doing that. So I like those reports like that. You look at the edges, Noah Carter doing his thing, Justin Hill, Yanzi Pierre. Like I know Quay Rusar is there. The challenge for Bama is going to be, how do we continue to keep these guys to love each other enough to say, stick around. We don't know what can happen. You may not be the face on it this week, but brother, stick around. You matter. So before we continue on this stream on YouTube side, as a matter of fact, we actually about to end the Instagram side. So before we continue the stream, we have 52 in the chat on YouTube with 28 likes. I'm not saying nothing else about practice until we get up to 30, until we get 45 likes. 45 likes. We need 45 likes. As a matter of fact, our goal is 50. Can we reach our like goal of 50? Daily like goal of 50, our daily live goal of 50. Can we get to that? Can y'all run it up for your boy? I think we should be able to do that, right? That ain't too much to ask for, is it, Chad? Is that too much to ask for, chat? Run it up in the chat. Let me know. Is that too much to ask for? We got 48 live in the chat on YouTube, 150 on Twitter. If you watching on Twitter, go ahead and retweet this for your boy. I want to hear all y'all little gripes and complaints. I want to hear if you agree or disagree with some of our takes. Run it up, man. Run it up. Run the likes up. Run the likes up. We're gonna wait for. We gotta hit something. And you know what? Somebody else told me the other day, they was like, man, I'm so sorry. I be forgetting to hit the like. I just come in and I start talking. I was like, I get it, man. I get it. It lets me know that we're doing something good over here, that the content is so capturing, the conversation is so capturing that you want to jump in and just jump into it. You don't need a welcome, none of that. You just want to have the conversation. So I appreciate y'all. We got 45, we got 32 likes. Y'all keep running the likes up, man. Hit that thumbs up over there on YouTube. And don't forget, man, there are opportunities to donate. We got super chat. Got super chats in there. You can donate directly through super chat, or you can do direct on those. We got PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Want to support the channel, help the content keep growing. We do this. YouTube is free, but running this channel ain't free. So we got people that want to support, man. Support it. I greatly appreciate it, 100%. But the best way to support, and the only way that I'm gonna beg you to support, is by hitting a like and sharing this live. So with that being said, right after this little brief intermission, we're gonna come back. We're gonna finish the conversation about this linebacker room, and then we're gonna do our final thoughts on today's practice, some of the things that you're gonna hear, and then hopefully we have our interviews up from today, from today's post-practice presser for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Appreciate y'all for being here. And right after this little intermission, man, we'll be right back. Appreciate y'all. Don't forget, hashtag put me in the game, coach, in the chat. Like, share, subscribe. Let me get you, man. Turn up one time. Let's go. Weak side linebacker, right? Put him next to the mic.
I'm not going to take up a lot of time, but I want to say that I'm excited about what.
Okay, forgive me, my brother. What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just still sorry for all the other content creators now that we have this mega star back in our presence.
Yeah. Mary J, give me my banner back. She be taking my banners, chat. Oh man, we here, chat. We were back. Welcome back. We're gonna get back into the conversation. I just accidentally unplugged my screen. So let me turn that back on. Definitely gonna need that to finish the show. Oh man, back, chat. We're back. Welcome back in. What were we talking about? The Alabama defense, linebacker room, and then we're gonna finish our last little breakdown and reports from practice today. Let's get into some of the good talk about the linebacker room. Justin Hill continues to show flashes. I talked about Deboer Sanders. I had high upside for him from day one when we signed him on early signing day, and we did the breakdown. We had the privilege of having he and Chuck McDonald on the show that day, and I told you all then, and I'm going to continue to say this. He is the next coming of what we've been missing as far as the Rolando McClains and Reuben Fosters of Alabama linebacker core. All right. And I'm looking at the build. I'm looking at the frame. I'm looking at the distinctive, things that you want to see as far as your linebacker, what he keys on when pre-snap. Where's his face mask doing pre-snap, right? When he shoots gaps, what he's doing. And I think Deboer Sanders, QB Reese, Caden Jones, another name that's just, and a lot of these names are going to pop because, like I said, you got a lot of senior guys, veteran guys that we're familiar with out. And you got a lot of guys that were out last year, i.e. Caden Jones, or a lot of guys that didn't get a lot of opportunities last year, i.e. Noah Carter, who are now, because of those injuries in front of them, they're getting an opportunity and they're showcasing a level of production and development that the staff and onlookers believe you would get from those guys who are currently out. So when it comes to the portal conversation, that's when you can start kind of getting worried. When the guys who can't be out there, the Danny Lewises, the Deontay Lawsons, right? Veteran guys that can't be out there, you've kind of seen what they brought to the table. And you got young guys stepping in and they're creating value for themselves daily, continuing to improve. And all you're able to do is basically continue coaching them up and getting them better. And there's no guarantee that you're going to come back 100%. That's where the portal becomes beneficial for guys like that. But I think we're in good shape at the linebacker room. Deontay Lawson still coming back from injury. Justin Jefferson limited, right? But I think his presence, you talk to any of the inside linebackers or any of the linebackers in that room, Justin Jefferson is a guy that they look to as a leader, and it shouldn't be a surprise with Jahad Campbell being gone. Deontay Lawson, a very soft-spoken guy. We saw him in interviews last year. You see his leadership quality is just leading by example. That's what he's known for, leading by example. So to have young guys like AJ Abdul Sanders and Caden Jones in the inside linebacker room. Luke Metz progressing. We snatched a lot of talent when we went and got Luke Metz, AJ Sanders, Duke Johnson. Limited with his reps. I think the thing with Duke, we want to see a little bit more body development for him. We want to see him really get in the weight room, get on that nutrition. But as far as athleticism, it ain't no questions there. Ain't no questions there. And I don't know if he likes playing, being pushed to the inside, too much. But I think that's a position he's going to thrive from. And because his range allows him to do it, and you can be just as effective at pressuring the quarterback from the inside linebacker position in a style of defense that Kane Womack calls. You saw Jahad Campbell and Deontay Lawson get sent on a lot of run blitzes, a lot of QB pressures in the pass game. So I think we're set at linebacker. Also, continue to run the likes up. We're at 37. Need to get this up to 50 likes, man. Need to get this live stream up to 50 likes before we end it live here. How long have we been live, chat? I always go way over my time. Oh, I got 10 minutes. Look at God. Won't he do it? Covering all river region. Welcome in. Bowen committed. Yeah, I saw that Corey Glover. I just seen it. We actually was talking about it a minute ago. Let me see. I'm gonna go over here and pull. Let me bookmark it. God dog it. Oh, snap. Wendell Gregory from South Carolina entered the portal, y'all. We don't need no more edge rushers, but that's big. I was trying to find the post. All right, what else do we got to talk about? Defensive backs. Can't stop raving about the defensive backs, chat. Cam Calhoun. I'm gonna say it again. I said it last live. I'm gonna say it again. Cam Calhoun is him. All right. Y'all remember we were so hyped about getting Eli Ricks a few years ago, and he came in, he was kind of a bust because of just some clashes with staff. I think that's the only reason Eli Ricks didn't come over to Bama and thrive. I think he was sold not a dream, he was sold a product or sold a vision, and he had a certain concept or idea of how that vision should go. And the staff had their vision that they gave him, and it took him longer than expected. Plus the injury on top of being a hard head, he finally got in and created some value for himself. But I think with Cam Calhoun, the same hype around him, not only because you look at what type of system he came from at Utah. You don't get on the field at Utah as a red shirt sophomore. You don't get on the field at Utah as a red shirt freshman unless you're able to run that defense, right? Unless you understand every aspect of that defense. That's an NFL caliber defense. Cam Calhoun comes over. My question is, how much rotation? I don't know who's starting where at this point. I just know Damani Jackson is our number one boundary corner right now. That's all I know. It's hard to even say because we still, you look at the safety room, Zay Mincy and Ivan Taylor have been performing as if Keon Sabb isn't on roster. And we still got Keon Sabb on roster. Like, then you go look at Bray Hubbard, strong safety, free safety, or, the Husky strong safety position, right? You look at how he's playing, but then Zay Mincy, Dre Kirkpatrick, Xavier Brown he's more so getting a rover look, but you got those two guys. This secondary is I won't say stacked because we're only too deep in most of the positions. But the two that's available, right, on roster that's available, at each position can go out and start for you today and really dog whoever's across from them, whether it's zone man. I feel like we're in a good position. Dejon Lee showing his growth and being in the rotation. It might put pressure on guys in front of him, but that's it. I don't think anybody leaves this spring. But Chuck McDonald coming in the fall, that just adds another body to the room. if we're having to use a 12-man rotation in the secondary, we're in bad shape. That means we're firing the strength and conditioning team, medical staff, everybody's getting fired if we're that deep. But to know that we're like 7, 8 defensive backs, not free safeties, not cornerbacks, but defensive backs, guys in the secondary on that side of the ball, across the board, that you can put 5 of them on the field, 6 on the field in any variation, and have solid coverage in the back, on the back end, basically shut down. I think we find ourselves in good position. Smook, you were the first person talking about Brooks. Now the whole fan base is hype. Mike Jones, can somebody clip this? And Mike Jones ain't no member of the channel. He's followed me for years now. And this is a trend, Mike, over the past 3 years. Is this not a trend that we've been seeing amongst this Bama fam? I don't know why people are so scared to just reach out to me. I've connected with a lot of the greats in this industry, right? And the ones that it's funny because the ones that I feel like I would have a problem with, those are the ones I'm the closest with. And the ones I feel like that are kind of on the same level as far as this industry and the way that this totem pole is, the ones that's I feel like are on the same level as me, they the ones be tripping, acting like I'm looking for clout. Like, bro, no. But anyways, yeah, Latair Brooks was one. But like I said, even with Dijon Lee, when we got Dijon Lee, everybody was talking about, he too big to play corner. And what reports are you getting from him in practice? He's a corner. He's not moving. He's a corner. I literally talked to the young man at the game. He's not practicing nowhere else but corner, right? So I'm just saying, I love it. I love being in place when God has you in position to do something that you're meant to do. No matter what people say around it, it's gonna be. Nick Saban Jr. said, just like the grub information. People don't want to admit that to him either, man. It's whatever though. It ain't about what people think. The people that matter see it. They see me put in the work, and that's all that matters. You are the people that matter. The people that support it. The people that comment, like, share, subscribe. You the ones that matter, and then the ones that's actually at the facilities at the University of Alabama that sign the papers that say, hey, you're invited in. Hey, talk about this. You can talk about this. We don't want you talking about this in this aspect. We can't tell you what to do, but we respect it. Like, that's where I'm at right now at this level in the industry. So I'm excited. I'm grateful. I'm appreciative. And anything else from my practice report? Let me go through this one last time. We did DBs, we did linebackers. No special team reports. Please don't ask me again. I do not get special team reports. I'm going to try to find a way, because a lot of times those guys are doing like technical stuff. And then when you go into those phases, those blocks of practice, they're limited. It's like, maybe 15 minutes of that. And it's so much standing around and just a lot of mental coaching going around by the special team staff. So yeah, you just working hard and getting the same information, but because you are changing the game, they mad. Hey, it is what it is, Zach. We walking in our purpose, man. We walking in our purpose. But so special teams there, probably won't even know about kick return and punt return until fall, when they start doing semi-live reps. The quarterback room, like I said, I still think right now, the pecking order right now, on paper is Ty Simpson, Austin Mack, Russell. But I think realistically, if the season was to start and they had to put out a roster today, with the depth chart today, based off reports from today's practice, I think you would have the roster. It would look like Ty Simpson, Keelan Russell, Austin Mack, or Austin Mack, Keelan Russell, Ty Simpson. That's what I think the situation is in the quarterback room. I really do think this is a battle for QB1, and then Russell's the backup. Because clearly there is no separation in the quarterback room. Ryan Grubb said it. Let's go talk about it. Ryan Grubb said it. Ryan Grubb said it. There's no separation. I'm about to pull it up right now, and that's how we're going to end the show. Reacting to Ryan Grubb's interview. Who is she? Roll Tide. Here we go.
Well, I mean, I think, the obvious statement is you got to get quarterback figured out. It goes without saying how much work and heavy lifting had to be done last year to get the offense where it's at right now. For me, if I was a running back, at this university, I would be looking at it as the ultimate challenge. Third time's a charm, I guess.
Watching the whole interview, chat.
Ryan Grubb, offensive coordinator, University of Alabama. I'll say this. I didn't get into coaching initially to try to be the offensive coordinator of University of Alabama or anything like that. I started my career after college, and for about 7 years, I worked in the ag industry and really missed football. The last 2 years of that, I was a high school football coach at Kingsley Pearson, which was my alma mater back in Iowa. Small Class A football, and honestly just fell in love with ball again and just being around it. And at the end of that 2 years, I figured out that my part-time job needed to become my full-time job. So then from there, I had to try to reach out and figure. My dad wasn't a coach. I didn't have a bunch of connections that way or anything. So I had to try to find ways to get connected, so to speak. And so I started reaching out about graduate assistant opportunities. And I had a couple of friends that were in coaching, and they said, yep, this is the best way to go. And so my first fall camp in college football, I was 29 years old, and I was going back to school at South Dakota State. And I was super lucky, work under a great mentor there, John Stiglmeyer, who retired national champion a few years back. And he gave me an opportunity and started out there, was a running back coach. In my second year, moved to wide receivers. And then at the end of my tenure there, I was able to work with Luke Meadows, the offensive line coach at South Dakota State, with the offensive line in the spring as I was ending my graduate assistantship. And then, when I got done being a GA, the phone wasn't ringing off the hook. And they always say the first job is the toughest, and had some really good mentors that just tried to, keep me focused on just that first opportunity will come. Just wait for it. So I had a couple job interviews, and honestly, a couple of them I turned down. They weren't big, glamorous jobs, but I hope because when your time's done, it's as consistent as they come. Show up every day, ready to work. Was going to do as much as he had to.
I'm trying to get there. Go.
There certainly are. I think, and they'll see that every day.
Check this out.
Yeah, there are. There certainly are. I think there's a lot
check this out, chat. Check this out, chat. This interview just came out. Y'all remember a lot of stuff I said about Ryan Grubb's style of play calling in NFL and college compared to college. And then I think he's going to allude. I haven't listed the whole thing, but you can kind of hear, but read between the lines what he's saying about why he chose to stay in Washington still in these statements. And I think this is the aerial, if I'm not mistaken.
To go, that's a big question. I would say from a relationship standpoint, in the NFL, you absolutely can have relationships with guys. There's great guys in the Seahawks, good dudes. You're just dealing with a different spectrum of guys as far as young guys just coming into the league, guys that got 4 kids, families are trying to get home to. So in essence, though, the part that is similar is the great ones, they're looking to you. How can you help me get to the next step? I want to get better. I want to be a great player.
Hey,
and,
man.
The best ones are always looking
going on
for
my
that.
elbow.
How can you help facilitate that? So for us, I think that's something, we certainly can build on. I think that, one of the toughest parts I think about being a college coach, being honest, is making sure that you're present with your team. And that can be difficult because the difference in the NFL is you're at the facility and that's your team. You're not trying to recruit guys or bring people into the organization that are outside of the building. You're just focused on the people in the building. So one of the things that I think that I'm taking from that is making sure that I'm very present with the current players on the roster at Alabama. Recruiting is Jamarcus Shepard, phenomenal coach. I'm getting to know Cap and Brian, and as the staff continues to build, that's something that you just keep working around those things and seeing all the strengths that they already have. From a relationship standpoint, I think that's the key part, though, right? Is there's and Luckily for us, Coach Sheridan and I have talked about this quite a bit already. We've been in this position way back to 2022. There was an incumbent starter there, Dylan Morris, who's with the program here in Alabama now. And he was the incumbent. Mike came in, and then we had a young quarterback in Sam Heward that was there. And it was truly a three-way competition. And you have to be very strategic about how you have those battles sorted out. And not just for, to try to check boxes and be politically correct, but for the development of the room. And it's critical that you do that the right way and, let guys be challenged and know that they're going to be ready for the field. And so whoever wins that job, I think that they're going to be better off for the competition, because we certainly felt that way in 22 with Mike. And, Penix was a special player, obviously, in the end, but I really felt like the way he developed through that first year and had to push to earn the job. And he was in a state where, when he left Indiana football, he was basically on the scout team. Not a lot of people know that, but Mike had kind of been, put to the side in some regards and had to kind of resurrect himself. And so, at the end of the first spring, we didn't name Mike the starter. We waited, and Dylan Morris had a really good spring, and it was a legitimate battle, and we carried that into the summer. And I thought that part was a really, really key part of the team forming. They saw, okay, we trust these coaches that everybody's going to get a fair shake. We're going to work hard. We're going to be very objective in how we give information back to the players. And that was exactly what we did. And I think that formula will hold true. So we got to get to the bottom of that. I think there's some really good competitions that are going to happen on the offensive line. I think our wide receiver room is loaded. And then we got some veteran guys in the running back room that I think can lead us.
I don't want to watch the rest because, one, he literally just repeated everything I have been saying when it comes to that quarterback room. You don't have to say, think about how he just spoke and explained the Washington quarterback position. The three-way race, but he really got tight on the young guy and the elite developmental talent in the room. I think we have a similar situation. Not too pressed on the veteran guy, who I have some inkling of who I am. He's doing good. Like, there's no reason to not like him. But I have a developmental talent that I'm familiar with, that I actually got eyes on and I've recruited, and I'm seeing him progress even during our times of separation. I've seen where he's put in the work, and I got this freshman that I'm truly excited about because he's literally got everything I want him to have right now, minus what I can't say what he'll do in a live game. So for everybody that continues to think that it's not for everybody that think is just Ty, it's his job. Nah. Stop letting it be about your feelings, and let's keep it football. And if we keep it football, what's up, babe? My baby checking in, her beautiful self. If we keep it football, I seen MJ tap into. If we keep it football, we will admit, if we were standing outside, I'm a coach and you a coach. Anybody in the chat want to pick against me? And our first pick, I flip the coin. And I call it. I say tails. You say heads. You get the call, right? You get the call. It's heads. It's heads, chat. And your first pick, you get first pick. And you don't even see these guys. Let's say you don't even see these guys, chat. I got to set something up for y'all, give y'all a visual. Let's say you don't see these guys. Right? And I just put these papers in front of you. These profiles in front of you. And I show you this guy. and you look at him standing on the field. Okay, that's him. He's out there throwing the ball around. Looks good. Then you see this guy. Wait, that's him? He throwing the ball. Look just like him. He throw it just as good as him. That's a big kid, though. Gonna be hard to bring him down. And then you see this guy, right? Wait, who's that? Yo, he got some long arms. You see that release? How old is he? Wait, he's younger than those guys? Wait. And you just pick one. Who you picking, chat? We just picking teams. Who you picking? Who your first pick? You get the first pick. You get the first pick, chat. That's my question to you. If I just did this, but take away all you Bama fans that think it's Ty Simpson. Take away your loyalty factor, your Sabanized mindset that we used to no longer have because he is no longer here, right? He got a field. God bless him. Go. Thank you for everything you did. For all you Sabanized fans, look at this diagram. Look at what's on your screen. Look at what's on the screen in front of you. And if I put 3 profiles in front of you, if they all had a card, and I said, here to go, the guys out there on the field, you pick one. You ain't never seen them on film or nothing. You pick one, and I give you these 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Who are you picking first? Because that's what this quarterback battle is right now. There's no separation. You have 3 quarterbacks doing a great job. But I'm telling you, when you have it, and if you play the blind face card and you just do profile, you play about, you're not picking Ty Simpson first. I don't care who y'all say. Ray Sean, what's good, man? You picking Austin? Me too. Just being honest, I'm gonna look at my just me, how I like to play the game. I don't want a traditional stay in the pocket quarterback because I don't know who the rest, what my offensive line gonna look like. I know I'm gonna get 2 of the biggest guys, and then I'm gonna try to get some athletic looking offensive linemen. But I'm doing fail safe picking because at the end of the day, that's what coaching falls on. Fail safe when it comes to depth position at the at the quarterback position, at the center position. That's fail safe. Because only one person can do that job. It's not like wide receiver where you can put 3 on the field and, 1 could mess up and 2 could benefit from it. Center, quarterback. Neither one of those guys can mess up and anybody benefit from it. So that's my last take on the quarterback position at Alabama. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it, man. Let me scroll up a few comments, Mary J. We'll go through the comments a little bit and indulge and talk about it, man. As we close out the show, appreciate everybody for being here, man. Don't forget to like and share on the stream. Let's see. Jordan says, "What's good, AAA family? I low key been rubbernecking." Hey, Jordan, we ain't gonna use that tone no more, man. We're gonna go back to lurk because I don't want nobody saying we stole they little term or nothing. I don't even say it no more. You see, I ain't been saying it. I don't want to have nothing to do with nothing. I pray for success for whoever wins the job. I think we all do at the end of the day, man. I think we all do at the end of the day. I just like to have the conversation from a realistic standpoint. Everybody says we got on Bama goggles. Well, if I had on Bama goggles, I'll be echoing the sounds and sights of what everybody else is saying. And I just don't see it. Ty is a good quarterback. I like Ty. I know Ty. I know the family. But at the end of the day, this job requires me to give honest evaluations, unbiased. And even as a Bama fan, contrary to popular belief, I'm very unbiased when it comes to my team. I can have a conversation about my team's strengths and weaknesses with another person that understands the football. Jacob Brooks, appreciate the like over there. Appreciate you for tapping in over here on YouTube, man. We got 246 total between all platforms, y'all. 246 total. 208 on Twitter, 41 on YouTube. Continue to run the likes up as we close out the stream. Just allowing us a little downtime to wind down. I'm taking Ty for his experience if we were talking starter. As far as just prospects, Elon will be my pick. See, Dabney, you changed the narrative. I said I gave the scenario. If we're outside about to pick teams, you don't know nothing about, there ain't no experience when it comes to that. We playing pickup ball. And you looking at guys, what's available, and these guys are out there throwing it. You've seen Ty spinning, you've seen Austin spinning, you've seen Keelan spinning. They pull out the measurements, right? They pull out the metrics. 6'2", 210 Ty, 6'6", 235 Austin Mack. Keelan Russell, you sitting out here looking at them pieces of paper like this, and you looking at them throw the ball to wide receivers, warming up, get ready to get picked. You like, and then you start factoring everything else that got to go into you winning the game as far as the offensive game plan. You're not picking Ty Simpson. None of y'all are. None of y'all are. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care what y'all say. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. Where the function? What up, Randall Green? What function? What are you talking about, Randall? What are you coming here talking about, Randall? What's good, man? How you feeling? Listen, chat. Announcement next week for A-Day. I will be pulling up in the Tuscaloosa Friday during the day sometime. I will be setting up shop somewhere near Wallace Wade condo next to the stadium for A-Day. We will be there. I think I will have my Coach Smook Network banner posted there, so y'all will be able to see it. We're trying to get a flagpole. If anybody wants to contribute in setting up and helping this thing be a success for A-Day, and the thing is, I just want to have 2 tables, a few chairs. Well, not even a few chairs. I want to have 2 tables set up next to my setup, to where people that want to come in and just kick it while we're doing our live coverage or our live streaming and just interacting with the fan base and do what we're doing. We'll have a space just for us. We're not renting a space. We're actually going to be collaborating with some family. I'm telling you, it's going to be funny if you're going to be with the AAA entourage that day. Be prepared to just help promote the network. That's what you got a wristband for. You should be proud to be a part of this AAA family. But we're going to be promoting the network. We've actually been doing a lot of growth on TikTok. TikTok has been our bread and butter the past 2 weeks. We've actually hit our 2 point. Oh, y'all almost let me forget. And I thought y'all loved me, man. Y'all was about to let me forget. Let me go to this dashboard real quick. Horton said Ty was a stud. I love when Randall comes in here. He wants Ty to be the guy so bad. You know what else Horton said? Keelan Russell got an arm on him. That boy can get it there. You know what Jeremy Bernard said about Austin Mack? Our chemistry from Washington, he's just getting better and better. Like, y'all are funny when it comes to Ty. I don't like it because y'all beat me up about it the last 2 years. When I said if he get the ranks, but now all of a sudden he's the best guy in the room in a new system that he's got just as much experience as everybody else in the room, minus Russell. Shut up. That's my mean take for today. Shut up. We was having a good time last night on TikTok. Yeah, I got some clips. I just posted a clip. Go check it out. I'm just saying, man. Y'all got to pick a side. Pick a side. Here we go. Live count right here. Horton said, yeah, he also said, see, I want to hear what y'all want to hear. What about when he said, what about when he was praising Keelan Russell the other day? Or week 1? Huh? What about Ryan Williams talking about Austin Mack and his growth? Huh? What about this? Come on, man. And then it'd be funny because y'all will see me at the basketball game chopping it up with these kids and y'all think I just be talking. Like I will literally post a picture sitting, or I will be on live or something, not interviewing, just talking with these boys. Like, what y'all think I'm talking about? I'm not asking them what size shoe they wear. Check this out, chat. We hit a goal yesterday. Chat. Yes, sir. We hit a goal yesterday. Let me see. Do I got my horn over here? Yeah, we got the horn. Let's turn the horn up one time for the chat. Turn the horn up one time for the chat. We got a 2.9K on the stream, baby. 2.9 subscribers on the chat. Appreciate y'all for doing what y'all do, man. I told y'all it would be a matter of seconds, minutes, times, days before we reach that goal. And we was able to hit it last night. Ty was voted on the leadership council. Guess who else was a captain and didn't start? Q-Rob was a captain and didn't start. Jalen Hurts was a captain and didn't start. Do y'all not remember the year that Tua started? Jalen Hurts was still the team captain. Randall, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but your Ty Simpson hopes and dreams may not come true this year either. I'm sorry. Timing is everything with college football in this day and age. And I don't think he's going. I think Ty Simpson, I'm more proud of Ty Simpson sticking to his guns and developing and continue to create value for himself by doing his job. Because that's going to create value for something that he's probably more passionate about than actually being on the field, and that's being a coach. So I just like debunking all of you ones that think I don't know what I'm talking about. I love it. And Randall, you got a wristband. You should know better. You should know better. You should know better. But you don't support for real, Randall. You don't support for real. You just pull up when some breaking news happen, and then when you want to know the truth, you want to come here. Or if I ain't saying what a whole bunch of other people saying, you say it to see if I'm gonna agree or not. And that's what gives you gratification. And it ain't cool. You should trust the work that we putting in. Sully watching from the beach, man. Send me a picture. Post a picture in Discord. I bet you won't. Ty was voted leadership council. So was Quay Russaw. So was who else? I think Josh Cuevas. Who else is on that leadership council, chat? We just seen the article the other day. We heard Quay talk about it during the interview. I mean, all these guys, LT Overton, you got Tim Keenan, Quay Russaw, Caden Proctor. Those are just the guys that's going to be like the captains on, but like leadership council is more than those 5 guys. Y'all know that, right? It's more than just those 5 guys. I guarantee you Jeremy Bernard has a voice in that locker room. I guarantee you Ryan Williams has a voice in that locker room. I guarantee you somebody like Josh Cuevas, somebody like Jaden Roberts. You trying to tell me Jaden Roberts isn't a leader? Randall, you think Jaden Roberts isn't a leader? You don't think Wilkin Formby is stepped up and become a leader because he's the guy manning the right tackle? I can crush a lot of narratives. I can crush a lot of narratives, but I'm not trying to be combative this year. 2025, we just standing on business. We holding everybody accountable, even ourselves. Shout out to the 254 in the chat on Twitter and YouTube. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. And with that being said, y'all, thank y'all for tapping in, man. I appreciate y'all for pulling up and supporting. I'm your boy Smook Hines here on the Coach Smook Network. And remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me and say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget, if you want to be a member of the channel, hit the link to join the channel, become a member, $2.99 to get your wristband, $50 a month, $49.99 a month to get you VIP. We start shipping out our VIP merch and VIP perks starting May 1st. So if you're a VIP member, we have 3 VIP members on the channel right now. Shout out to the 119 members we have on the channel. That's crazy. For people not to want to rock with us and say that Coach Smook ain't doing nothing, we got 119 people that really want to continue, and more people that want to figure out how to do it. And I know it's about 10 or 15 that just can't figure it out. If I could do it for them, I would. But check that out. Don't forget, red letter, white letter, line up the merch, right? Still available for everybody that wants it all the way until May. End of May 31st, we'll be taking it down, and we'll be launching our new merch sometime in May. We thought it was going to be May 1st, but it looks like we got a little delay. But thank everybody. Don't forget, join the Discord. Join the Discord if you need any help, you need prayer, anything, put it in the Discord prayer channel. We got all of our locker room talk, small talk, articles getting shared in there. gaming community about to kick back off. I'm actually going to go live gaming today after this. I feel like the gaming content has been fire. So catch me on TikTok after this at about 2:30 Central Standard Time. We'll be going live with that. But without that being said, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. I'll see you when I see you. SOS, y'all stay blessed. I'm your boy, Coach Smook. Have a good one, man. Y'all be blessed.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holla at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Leandre Gotte Tejus.